It was, one possession game all the way down to, I guess, about the middle of the fourth quarter. Tough game, physical game. Thought we played pretty well on defense all the way up until that drive. And then, truth be told, they imposed their will on us. And that's tough to take. And I thought offensively we played well at times. It just wasn't consistent enough. It was like we played well, and then you have a rush for 0 and an incomplete pass, and you're looking at 3rd and 10. And that happened to us a few times just past the 50. And the consistency of that is not there yet. And so they deserve it. Congratulations to them. We figured it'd be a tight game. I thought, everybody thought there'd be a whole lot more scoring. Pretty good defense on both sides there for most of the game. But credit to them, they made the plays, and Tate made a couple plays there at the end, and he's a really good player, really good.
Matt, the drive for the touchdown, that they took the lead 20-14 on that drive. I think you had a sack and 3 tackles for loss, and that was also the drive that you had the 12 men on the field, I believe. Yeah,
that didn't hurt us. I mean, they ran the ball on 3rd and short, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, like 3 times, and you got to be able to dominate the line of scrimmage. We didn't do that, and that's where they won the game. That drive right there, it sealed it, I guess I should say.
How much of a letdown is that, considering a lot of your most experienced personnel are guys playing in the front 7?
No letdown. Just whether we were playing good technique or we just physically wore down. It's kind of probably one or the other, but no letdown.
The 99-yard drive, all of it on the ground, 13 plays, that sort of thing. I mean, was that a case of maybe getting worn down at the very end? When you look at it,
that's kind of what I just mentioned. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's probably a combination of that. I know there was twice we didn't have the edge. I know there was once that we didn't come under on a stunt, and they ran it right where the guy was, and that's what happens. Teams that run the ball well, like that they did, makes you pay. But it's what I just mentioned.
What did you see on Tate's 84-yard touchdown? Was that a misalignment or what happened there?
I'm not sure.
What do you tell Doug after that penalty right before halftime that kind of takes you guys out of field goal range?
That was one where it was kind of an awkward penalty with what happened. I'm not going to discuss it in detail here right now, but we got to be able to control our emotions throughout the whole drive, and be disciplined. And I thought we were for the most part tonight, but that drive, there were times that we weren't, and unfortunately that did back us up a little bit more.
What did you kind of learn about the secondary? Kind of their first big test with the team that throws the ball more than the first 2 weeks.
A couple times we were out of position. I thought there were a few times we made some, both corners made plays, but then they gave up plays too. We got to be stronger back there, but part of that coverage has got to be tied to the front. And I know we didn't have enough pressure on him. He sits back there and combs his hair. I mean, it looks like 7-on-7 to him, and everybody wants to blame the secondary. So it's actually twofold. I mean, it's got to be probably some tighter coverage down there. But I thought there were a few times, man, we especially early, we played well in the secondary, and we were breaking on balls. But I think part of maybe getting worn out was a lack of a pass rush. That was a result of it.
You pulled Allen off when y'all were walking out of the tunnel. What did you tell him after a game like that?
Just proud of him. I mean, the guy was in pain. He's hurting, and he fought his butt off and tried to help us, give us a chance to win.
Do you know what it is right now?
I mean, do I know what it is? Yeah, he's hurt. Yeah, it's his left shoulder. I mean, anybody can see that. I'm not telling y'all nothing y'all didn't already know.
To give up a 99-yard drive, you have to punt it down to the one. I think that was the second time Austin pinned them inside
it was.
the 5. How good was he tonight?
Yeah, I thought Austin played well. I just had that question out there. It was good. I mean, and besides the punters, mom and dad, and the special teams coordinator, you don't want to come in here and praise a punter after a loss, but I thought Austin punted very, very well. I mean, that was a swirling wind out there tonight. It was an interesting wind, one I really hadn't been in before. It was coming crossways and was swirling, and I thought the guy was nails all night. He's a weapon for us. He really is.
When Allen came back from the shoulder injury, connected with Mannix a couple times on that drive, did you feel a little bit of momentum at that
Yeah,
point?
you did a little bit, and then it's you couldn't connect at the end, and you just couldn't put all the dots together. I mean, it's like we were going, and we'll have to go back and look at it a lot closer. But and we'll learn from this tape. But unfortunately, it has to be a loss coming out of it.
Matt, early in the game, Allen's first interception, the one where he throws into the end zone, and TJ wasn't close to where he threw the ball. Who was that on? Was that a miscommunication or a wrong route? Or?
It was miscommunication between the receiver and the quarterback.
And on the field goal attempt, or the field goal where Richardson got tackled, what happened there?
Miscommunication inside.
So it was a call. It was called.
Heck yeah, I called it. Yeah, blame me for it. Ultimately, it is. I'll take the heat on that one.
There was just some speculation that some folks messaged me that it looked like a low snap, but it wasn't.
No.
Anything on that?
No, poor speculation. Fake all the way. It was on me. If it doesn't execute well, it's always on me.
TJ Vasher, just at times when it seemed like he needed a play, he just went up and got it. Last week, now this week, where has he come from maybe the first couple weeks, and how has he stood out to you?
TJ's just a good player. I mean, you got to get into the vicinity of him. He's a size mismatch for a lot of corners. And he's got, his catch radius is huge, big hands. He's playing well.
Going into the bye week now, how do you kind of, do you allow him to sit on it for an extra day or two because you have that bye week, or do you just kind of tell him to erase any bad memory, any bad?
No, we'll learn from it. No, we'll watch it. And anytime you fail at something, it's a tremendous learning opportunity, and we'll take full advantage of it. I mean, our bye week schedule's already set. We have a plan for that, but no, you don't erase anything. You learn from it, and I certainly think we will. You go back and you look at how you did it, and you look at who's doing it, and then players look at it and say, how do I do it better? And coaches say, how do I coach it better, and how do we get them prepared better? And it's a tremendous learning opportunity for all of us. And so we'll take advantage of that.
Bye week, I know you don't really have much control over, but do you like it a little early? Maybe fix some issues?
Play it as it lies. That's the media's number one question. Is it coming at a great time for you? You just said that if we'd have won. I mean, it's just an easy question. We got two of them. We got one now. We got one in November. So,
Jordan Brooks again kind of seemed to be all over the field.
guy spills his guts out there. I don't know if you guys watch him real close, but the guy left everything he had on the field. Strains. Tremendous player, great teammate, banged up. I can't say enough about number one.
Terrence coming in after being injured first couple weeks, and I think he committed a couple penalties, and you took him out, put him back in. Was that just him trying to maybe get back used to that game, those game reps, or was?
No, I think he had one. And we took him out the third series that was planned before the game.
Take two more.
So offensive line play in general, what do you think?
We got a couple times too quick a pressure on Allen. What's funny, Don, is we ran the ball really good at times, and it was chunks, and you're just like, we're that close from breaking it, and then we get past the 50. That's like I was saying, it was like almost you get right past the 50, and we got a 0 yardage run, and so I thought it was probably just about like the rest of the offense, pretty average.
Doug getting the first interceptions, just how have you seen him in practice? I know you've talked about him a lot. Just is it surprising to you that he was the one to be there?
No, he made a play. The ball was right there in his vicinity. He made a play. I think he almost had no, that was Dez. But Doug Coleman's a good player. He's a good leader. We're going to keep coming up with those takeaways. The key is to be able to, on offense, is to play off of that and use the momentum for our advantage. And you got to be able to take that and, make the other team pay and go down and score. And that's somewhere where there's some growth that needs to be had with our team.
I didn't really feel like we were breaking as a defense. I just feel like somebody. Well, I mean, as a whole, we weren't getting it done. But I knew it was just a play-by-play thing. I couldn't worry about the play before. I couldn't worry about how long how long the drive was, how many plays it was. I just knew that every play I got to make sure I do my assignment, and I got to make sure that I'm accountable for myself so that my teammates can trust me.
You came back out after suffering that injury. You good? What kind of was the pain area?
Oh, it was just a minor cramp. My right calf cramped up a little bit in the middle of a play, and I went for the tackle, and when I got up, I went to run back to my alignment, and when I was getting up, it kind of locked. I was like, oh, so I went down. But after that, it was fine.
When you assess the secondary as a whole, this is kind of the first team that threw the ball more. How do you think y'all fared against them compared to the first two games?
Well, we gave up a couple of big passes, but, I mean, it's the game of football. Those guys are on scholarship too, so we can't expect to go into every game and give up 12 passing yards total. So I kind of knew that we would that there would be passes caught here and there, but I don't think we played too bad. I don't think we played bad at all. I just feel like in certain situations we could have done better. There was room for improvement, more or less.
I think anyone can watch the tape and see that Khalil Tate is a special player. From what you saw out in the field today, what made him so electric and so hard to defend?
Well, really, he's a purebred athlete. He's one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the nation right now. So, I mean, any defense will have to keep contained on him, and the few plays that we didn't, it kind of cost us. So, seeing that, well, going into the game, we already knew that he would be an athletic guy, that we already knew he'd be electric, but it was just a couple plays where he got out on us. So.
As another leader in the secondary, do you even need to tell Doug anything? I mean, he's captain, obviously. When he makes that kind of, he owned up to the costly error he kind of made after that pick right before halftime where he got that penalty. Do you guys as a defense need to talk to him at all, or is you just know he's kind of going to self-correct that?
Well, I don't think he really meant to do what he did. It was kind of it kind of just happened. And when he came to the sideline, everybody was yelling at him. And I mean, me as being a captain, I don't see it as I have to correct another captain. It's just kind of you give him that look we got to get it right, you got to get it together. So it's not. I feel like he can do it on his own, and he knows when things are going bad his way and things like that. So when I looked at my other captains, either they give me the look or I give them the look. So I don't really have to do too much talking when it comes to the other captains on the team.
How does this affect y'all's confidence, particularly considering what y'all did the first 2 weeks defensively?
I don't think it would affect it much. I think it's more of an eye opener rather than beating down on our confidence. Because as a defense, we're still going to be aggressive. We're still going to play the way we play. There's nothing today isn't going to change the identity of our defense. It's just now we know where we're lacking in terms of scheme and assignments. So now it's just lesson learned. Got to move on and get things fixed.
What did Patterson say to y'all after?
After the game?
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, he just he pretty much just told us that he liked the way we fought, and that it was a moment during the game where it seemed like we were kind of yelling and chirping at each other, but it stopped real quick, and we came together, and we just stuck together through the whole thing, good or bad. We didn't budge.
After a loss, how much do you kind of let it sit with you, especially when you have now a longer week before Oklahoma? Do you let it sit with you for a day or two, or do you flush that almost immediately?
Well, me personally, I try to flush it as fast as possible because it's the game of football. You win some, you lose some. So I know it kind of comes with the game that you're not going to win every game. So I focus on what can I take from the loss rather than the loss itself. So right now I'm just waiting for the film to get up and me to already start watching the film and see where I went wrong.
In terms of takeaway, even with what happened out here, are you pretty well convinced that this is a better defense this year than last year for you guys?
Yes.
What makes you think that? What have you seen?
Well, I see it in our players' confidence, the way they carry themselves now on the field. It was some points last season where I could look to my left or look to my right, and I could just feel it that somebody wasn't really feeling the game that day, or they wasn't themselves. But now I don't get that feeling. And we played 3 games, and it hasn't came across me where I looked to my left or my right and felt somebody's energy wasn't there. So it's just, and then the camaraderie is different. We used to yell at each other and stuff last year. We used to beat down on each other, but now it's more uplifting things. We're always looking to improve ourselves.
When you go through a point in a game when you're struggling as a defensive unit, how do you contain that frustration? Because obviously it's natural that you guys in the competitive aspect that you are going to get frustrated and not take it out on each other.
Well, that more concerns with our discipline, and at the end of the day, we're gonna exemplify how disciplined we are every down and every day. And when things get frustrated, we can't let the frustration get to us, because I mean that's pretty much adversity, and adversity is gonna hit at some point in football, and it's just gonna bring out the real person in you, and we can't let adversity hit and then we fall apart, because that's not what championship defenses do. And right now we're building a championship defense, and we can't let the frustration hinder us. We gotta let the frustration strengthen us.
I just take complete ownership of that. Just being undisciplined, and that's something I gotta get better as a captain and handling in a different situation.
With the coach, is that kind of what the coaches told you then when you came to the sideline?
No, it's just something I know as a captain. Like, I know better than that. I just gotta keep my composure.
Was it heat of the moment kind of thing? What was the ref trying to tell you, if you don't mind me?
I'm not sure what he was saying. I was just trying to get to the sideline, but again, like I said before, like as a captain, I just got to handle the situation a little better.
As a defense, you've been so good this season about getting off the field, especially on third down. There was something like 15 of 21 on third down tonight. What was the difference tonight?
I think we just got out of our mentality, and we didn't play. Everybody didn't do their job like we were supposed to. So they had a couple busts on third down. We should have stopped.
On that 99-yard drive, was there a point when you could feel you guys just kind of breaking a little bit?
Never. We always gonna continue to fight no matter the situation of the game. So
What'd you see on the 2 interceptions?
just doing my job. The front 7 giving me a chance to get back deep enough to make the 2 plays and get in the QB's face to force him out of the pocket.
And you were kind of frustrated that you could have a third one there, huh?
Yes, sir.
The situation on when you guys had the lead, you thought you had held them on third down, and you get the too many men on the field penalty, the illegal substitution call. They convert. Was that kind of a momentum swing at that point?
I think it could have went both ways at that point, but again, it just goes to us paying attention and knowing the situations and knowing when you're supposed to be on the field and when you're not. So that's part of the game, but we gotta learn from that.
What were y'all thinking? What was kind of the mood once y'all finally got ahead 14-13?
I feel like we knew we could play with them the whole game, and we just tried to keep telling each other, like, let's keep going, let's keep making plays, let's keep going.
At times, it just kind of feel like an eternity out there in the secondary with how much time Total Tate had, whether he was able to stay in the pocket or he broke contain.
He's a great athlete, and he's probably one of the more QBs that can make more time in the pocket than most QBs can. So we expected that coming into the game. So they did what they had to do, in my opinion.
What's the biggest thing as a defense you guys can take from this game? You got a bye week to think about it, take it into Oklahoma.
I think it just goes back to fundamentals and just staying sound vertically in the passing game and fitting the run up correctly.
For both of you, did you sense a little bit of a lift when Allen came back out of the locker room after the injury? You guys scored on that drive.
I kind of felt the momentum. They were kind of pleased that he came back and fought through it. So it's good to see that your quarterback's willing to fight through an injury.
Yeah, I definitely felt like I was happy that he came back out because you don't want to see a quarterback go down, but just to have him back out there, it's just a big momentum boost.
Armand, how frustrating was it? Because it seemed like a couple drives you guys were moving at will, and then maybe when you got around 50, a little bit past, it just kind of stalled out a little bit.
Yeah, we was just having a hard time finishing off drives today. So,
I think did y'all have, they just rising up, playing emotionally, on the defensive side when they needed to get stops, or did you feel like y'all were not doing things as well as you had early in some drives?
repeat that. What do you mean?
You feel like Arizona just rose up and emotionally made stops when they needed to, or you feel like y'all were kind of getting out of sync when you got deeper into drives?
They made plays to stop our momentum. So that definitely slowed us down. Like if they didn't make those plays, we would have been more effective in the red zone.
Offensively, what's the biggest thing that you've seen that you can kind of take into the bye week and work on as a unit for Oklahoma?
Just seeing what all the assignments that we missed, like seeing where we can improve, like as far as blocking, passing, like all that good stuff. Just working on it so we can be better for the next week.
Do you think you guys, not to say that you came in and expected to put points up, do you think you were a little surprised when you look at the scoreboard? I think after the first quarter and it's only either 7-0 or 0-0. I forget exactly what the score was at that point.
I wasn't necessarily surprised. I just knew that we could do it and we just had to get it going.